I really wanted to be out in nature today for this spirit report, but it is quite rainy here, so I decided to show you this beautiful video, slow drip. A gentle release. Hello, this is Eliza Kendall, coming to you from Bundjalung country in northern New South Wales in Australia. It is I have no idea what the date is. I have been in a migraine space for a couple of days. I have healed said migraine through being held by a heart-centered masculine embodied for 30 to 60 minutes. That's what was required, as well as the use of a vibrational frequency machine called healing. So amazing, so grateful. Yeah, so I feel as if I'm back in the world. Sometimes I'm not able to be here, and I shut down, and the particular types of symptoms that I have throughout this time often let me know also energetically where I am, but also energetically where the world is. And so what I'm perceiving is that we are at a 0 point again now, and so as we proceed through this time, it is obviously creating a lot of polarity, a lot of chaos, even more separation than before is occurring on the planet right now. And these are playing out in various different ways. And we are also about to hit another wave of, let's say, chaos, let's say being shaken up is kind of how I see it energetically. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but I can feel that is close, and I can feel the immense shifting of consciousness that has gone on collectively. It's essentially what sort of happens to my mind as I perceive. And so what I have learnt this week as well is that despite that fact that I was doing a lot, I was not doing enough grounding practices. We've certainly been told this by the spirits many times over the last few months. Ground. And so I've got my red clothes back on. I am really focused on keeping a continuous activation, purification, cleansing of my root chakra right now, as well as my crown and third eye, because I perceive a lot of information through these areas. And what we're also doing while we are purging of the old, we are dreaming in the new. So it's like the purging of the old happens sort of down below, and the dreaming of the new happens up top. So we're really between crown, third and root chakra right now. So if you want any help or tips around how to activate those areas, let me know. You can use very simple things like color. So again, red is really the most appropriate right now for the root chakra. For the higher chakras, we're really talking indigos, purples. You can also certainly be working with white light or ultraviolet light coming through the crown. As I was preparing to do this reading, I was shown and was receiving and shown so that I could mention it to you all, allowing a divine crystalline river of red energy to come up through my root, move up through my pranic tube, and then actually being very gently, I don't want to say pushed, it's almost just, what's the word, like with a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure behind a tap as it builds up. It's like pushes up and out. So that's definitely something I am aware of and have been encouraged to pass on to you this week. Extra grounding, so we're talking barefoot on the earth. Submerge yourself in nature. This is continuing to come up again and again and again. I feel like this comes in every report as well, or every reading that I do. Go out into nature as much as you can. Get as far away from infrastructure, etc., as you can. and surround yourself with nature. Also, barefooting, bare earthing, get your hands in the dirt. If you're in an apartment, garden. Spend a lot of time planting, using pots, whatever way you need to. Again, if you can't get out, use your imagination right now. Allow your dream time, your imagination time, to be very immersed within a nature, pure nature experience. It is going to help you stay stable and keep any kind of awakening symptoms, as well as transmutation happening through your vessel, particularly those who are HSPs or highly sensitive people. Ground. So root vegetables, good cooked food is really good right now as well, particularly if you are feeling as if you are being a little bit thrown around, highs and lows by the polarity right now. Lots of grounding practices. So the other thing that I have been asked to mention to you today is also definitely around discernment. You know, we've been speaking a lot around discernment. Discern use of energy, discern use of power, discern use of speech, of words, of thoughts, of emotions, of responsive reactions, etc., etc. The list goes on. What I was asked to illuminate to you this morning by one of the spirits I was speaking with was that part of why they are, I can use the word, they're okay with that, thank you, pushing us to be masters of using our intuitive discernment and having our intuition as the most trusted, most reliable guidance system for you, knowing that it is coming from your heart mind, your higher intelligence. It has a much broader and heightened capacity to understand what is occurring, what is going on, and the intricacies of everyone else and what is going on with the entire planet right now. Your intuitive mind is the very best thing to lead and guide you. And we are being asked to fine-tune our discernment and use of that because of this next wave that is coming very soon. We will be tested. Many false idols will be coming off their perches. It's going to continue to happen. There will be others that are pointed at and thought of to be saviors, to be ones that are contributing in a positive, beneficial way to the creation of the new earth, and they will not be. There were others that will be persecuted and continued to be seen as evil or devils, and they are in fact diversions from the real density that is being purged at the moment. So, you know, we are going to continue to be in a little bit of a shit fight. Excuse my language. And so what is essential is to be really clear at how you use your intuition, really understand how it works for you, and be paying attention to that a lot. Now, the other thing is to remain curious. I'm going to give you this word as a way of life, as a lifestyle. It's like a tantric life or a yogic life. I'm going to give you a curious life. Instead of judging others, instead of drawing a line in front of you and them and saying, I'm going to block you, or saying your opinion absolutely is rubbish, it's bullshit, it means nothing, you're this, you're that, etc., etc. Pause judgment for a moment and be curious. Ask the questions. Why is it that you feel that way? How have you come to believe that? Explain that more to me, please. Can you share more with me around that point of view that you have? I'm going to sit and be willing to listen. Listen to the feedback. Pay attention to what is coming back as you are putting information out there into the world. Notice what that is. Allow it to adjust your way of responding to what is occurring outside of you. Curiosity is something that I have taught for many years to my students and clients, and it is something that has really helped me to experience more. You know, if I find myself being judgmental about something or someone doing something, I pause myself there and I go, well, hang on a minute, I'm curious about that. And then typically I'll try that thing and then I realize actually that thing really works for me. Now that may or may not happen, but my invitation is to practice curiosity. This is going to help you to hold a space where you can be using your discerned intuitive guidance to make appropriate choices that benefit every living thing on the planet. It's also going to help you at the same time as you're doing that to continue dreaming the new earth. You can stand on both sides now so that you can practice being one who creates a space where curiosity has overcome judgment, when we no longer have fear of one another and we no longer are separated. First, we must reach the polarity of that separation, and that's what we are doing. We are now looking at each other from the other side of a lot of lines and a lot of space between what we think is right and what you think is wrong. But there's something else I'd like you to know about that. If you are holding a stance of rightness and you are staying in that stance and you are liking that stance and it is making you feel good, you want to be right. If you find yourself arguing with people because you want to hold a position of rightness, please understand that if you are holding on to the need to be right and someone else is wrong, you are separation, you are existing in a separated state, and that means that you are not in a flow state. That means you are not in the state where you can birth anything new. You are not in the state where you can dream in something new. And you are not in the state where you are on your most graceful path, the path of least resistance. That requires you to be able to hold a space in between right and wrong, a neutral space. Now, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, particularly when there is so many things being revealed right now on the planet to the mainstream as well that are clearly wrong. My recommendation here for you is not necessarily around morality right now. It's a little bit more just around the practice of an internal understanding of a space where you are holding an internal state of being curious around why people do the things they do, why they choose the ways they choose. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to get into a lot of conversation and argument. This is kind of more like a contemplation. Okay, I feel like I need to add something to that because, like everything on the planet, there is a paradoxical element to this, and that element is that, again, at the same time as we are holding space for neutrality, it is also very important that we are using our intuitive guidance to determine what is most appropriate, what is most beneficial for all life, what is contributing to a thriving life for yourself and for those around you, and what is contributing to a limited or smothered or reduced or downplayed, etc. space for us to live in. Okay, I hope I've made sense there. All right, let me know if I haven't and I'll say something else. But maybe the guides will say something anyway that clears up any of my rambled confusion. Okay, beautiful creatures. How gorgeous you are. I love to be able to see you and feel you again. You're doing so well. What a crazy world. Oh my God. You're doing so well. Thank you for being here, sharing this crazy, crazy ride with me. I love it. Oh my God, some days I want to cut my head off, but I love it nonetheless. So shall it be. All right. Thank you. Yeah, they're showing me the flood again. It's this flood of energy that's coming up through my perineum, right through the base chakra, and is coming up. And as you can hear, it's actually clearing out my solar plexus and rebalancing that out a bit. Thank you. Oh, it's coming up into my heart space and creating it feels like a spiral of energy moving through my heart space. And it's almost like this is really beautiful, and they're showing me this so that you can do this too. So yeah, I'm just gonna repeat it so that it's really clear. So as I'm sitting here, I'm receiving like roots or like veins and an immense amount of capillaries going out through the bottom of my root chakra. They are my roots and my veins and capillaries, my energetic veins and capillaries, and they are very safely tucked into a very solid soil below me, and this soil is just like absorbing nutrients, and as I said, it's coming in. It's not really kind of red light. It's quite warm, but it is life force from the earth. And what I'm perceiving is that it also has access, if I want it, to the living library that is within the planet, meaning the information of those who have gone before. And so what is relevant is also going to be coming up. Thank you. Wonderful. Through those roots, they're just absorbing through the soil, and it is then traveling up. Yeah, wonderful. It's kind of like creating this burst out of my sacrum, my creation zone, and just clearing any remnants out of there. It's moving up and just pushing solar plexus, anything out the front and back of my solar plexus, actually all the way out through the sides. Wonderful. And as it comes up into my heart, it is spiraling, and what it feels and I'm perceiving this whole thing to be doing is a real cleaning of the old paradigm in any systems and templates that have been with me. I've definitely been doing this quite consciously with a lot of focus over the last couple of weeks as well, removing any of those templates that are in the old world right now. And so it is sucking those up out of me and sucking them out of my, I want to say my lower heart chakra, or we could say what I sometimes call like, you know, the archetype of the heart, the sort of emotional place. I don't perceive that an awakened heart is a place of emotions in that way. It is more a place of being bliss, being ecstasy, being nothing, being connection, being one, being compassion. These don't necessarily register so much as emotions to me. They're something to me that is different, that happens in the sacral. But anyway, a bit of debate around that, but as I move up into the, nonetheless, they don't care about that. They're reminding me that, they want me to tell you what they're doing. They're sort of sucking it out, and they're just like, out with the old, any of those old templates, the old fear-based paradigms, the old limitations as well, that sort of persecution kind of energy, this smothering of my life force, this reducing of my wisdom, limiting of my intelligence, and like kind of capping my capacity to expand. Those are the old paradigm templates that have been constructed and have been kind of fed into over the years, over centuries really for us. And this is now part of what we're lifting. And so what they're doing is giving this energy to me and to you as a practice to do this. So it's moving up and it's like bursting out the through all sides, 360 out through my throat. And then they're taking it back up into this chakra here, which is where I often get the blockages, and it's just spiraling out the back, as well as shooting up through the top of my crown, out through the pituitary. Wonderful. Okay, and so I'm imagining that. And what that is doing now is recalibrating is the word they're wanting me to use very specifically, recalibrating my antennas. So you can look this up if you like on the internet, but let's just say, you have antennas that are like, let's say they're like mini pranic tubes through here, through the third eye and out the back, through that chakra there that we mentioned, as well as straight through the back. Coming out there, as well as one up the top. So you can imagine that these antennas are like shooting back on now, meaning they are firing up again or recharging, but more than recharging or opening up or just like kind of clearing any blockages in there. What is also happening, most important they wanted me to mention, is a recalibration is taking place. And again, we're at a 0 point. So the recalibration is something that is in many ways unknown in our awareness. It can create perceptions and ideas and feelings that have previously been unknown to us, and this can sometimes create some resistance or conflict within us. And so that's why they are offering this particular visualization in order to assist with that. And certainly as we continue to navigate the influxes that are creating, that are catalysts for big changes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, please do that. They're just clearing something out of my throat because they said I was too busy talking. Okay, thank you. So this is down into the xiphoid chakra here, working with the thymus as well, which of course is a high immunity area, as well as a place that has a connection to our spiritual and human self, and kind of a gateway between the two. So thank you. Yeah, they're using some pale blue. Thank you. Really beautiful, sort of translucent pale blue light to clear that out now. Thank you. Okay, and so, yeah, I'm just asking while they were doing that, you know, as you watch this video, can you also receive this same activation, healing, whatever they want to call it? Not such a big fan of that healing word so much anymore, but whatever they want to call it, doesn't matter. As we watch this video, and the answer was definitely an emphatic yes. So, yeah, I recommend that you perhaps, I know I'm talking quite quickly, not as serenely as I would if I was talking you through a visualization. I'd have my hypno voice on. I've got my relaying information voice on right now, which is quite different. So, yeah, thank you. If you want to just pause and allow that to occur. And as I just allowed them to move the energy around me as was necessary, there's a lot of work on my jaw area, certainly on the right side, which does indicate current life experience as well. And so I dare say there's yeah, thank you. They're also just letting me know that this will also be relevant for a lot of you, and just to allow for some healing or more, they're just going to say purifying, thank you, in the jaw area. Consciously relaxing the jaw. That's it. Making more room for the breath when the jaw is relaxed. Good. Allowing the back of the eyes as well to relax now. Eyes have been absorbing a lot of information, and the mind's been taking on, trying to understand a lot of information now. And this is part of why they're encouraging us to ground. There's a strong encouragement to stay out of the head, stay in the body, stay in the heart, come out of the head, move into the heart, come out of the head, move into the heart. Particularly those who are quite busy. Oh, that was really nice. I'm going to see if there's someone else that wants to speak. Okay. Okay. Yes, we are encouraging creativity. Yes, this is what we perceive to be the most effective most beneficial tool for you during this time. We were asked what it is that you could do in order to facilitate ease and grace throughout this transition, particularly those of you who have no need to continue awakening, so to speak. And what is now most important is, well, we want to sort of say, stability, staying focused on the heart space, staying within your body, not allowing for the disruptions and the chaos and the, well, let's say the dying of what is old on your planet to disrupt your internal state. Those of you who have already spent much time dissolving the old limitations and breaking and choosing for yourself where you want to be within the current structures, perhaps deciding that none of them work for you, etc. It is most beneficial, we feel, at this time for you to simply have practices where you can stay out of your mind and in a creative space or in an embodied space. Of course, this is really one and the same thing. And so we are inviting you to play with creativity, to make things, to use your hands, use your body, use your feet, move your body, breathe, use your body, use your hands, create things, make things. Imagine as well. Yes, continue imagining, dreaming in the way that you want the world to be now while you are creating, making things. And really we sort of want to say doing only those two things right now, really for the next month or two. And then we will give you another bit of information because things are changing. And yes, we want to say those of you who are ready, we can feel some of you are really, really keen and you have prepared yourself well and you are sustaining yourself well and you are really, really keen to, well, let's say advance is a word you seem to like to use, evolve, ascend. Let's not speak of ascension right now. Instead, what we wish to say is receive some more information or receive some more activation or get another book, an amazing body of information, an amazing text, a script, a scroll, a piece of literature, a piece of art, a portal, a library right now. And so we are inviting you, if you are ready to do that and you have access to a untouched area of nature, we are inviting you to intuitively follow yourself, yes, yourself, your higher mind, to an untouched area of nature, to sit yourself within that area, to drop into a meditative state and then to ask the portal to open. For we have left portals of information, of wisdom, of technology, of focal points, of, what can we say? Perspectives, yes, wonderful, high vibrational, high dimension, all those yummy words that you like so much down there. We have left this for you. It is the keys to the kingdom, the next set of keys that you are ready to pick up, and all you need to do is receive it from a place that we have described, for it is in those places we have left what is wanted from you right now, what we know you are ready to receive. And if you are ready to receive it, you will know that you are ready to receive it, of course, and you'll simply take yourself into this space, and then at an appropriate time when you feel it is appropriate, you will sit down and you will know this is the place. There was definitely someone else that wanted to say something about family. I'm just going to check in with that. It feels as if there is more to come around this, but they're wanting me to highlight that those that are having trouble with family or with people that are close and are experiencing the separation that we spoke about, where lines are being drawn, first of all, to, you know, yes, take the opportunity to recognize the other person now that you are looking at them in perhaps a different way. there is information there for you. Also take time to, yes, be curious, and also to listen without responding is really the suggestion. And it felt to me as quite a mature stance, kind of a stance where you see a broader picture, and you have understanding that the person in front of you is seeing with the blinders on, and you understand this because at some point you too had the blinders on, or even if you didn't have the blinders on about that particular thing, you have had them on around something else, and so you can understand and empathize what it is to be there. And so from that intelligent place, you make really discerned, again, choices, and again, intuitive choices around receptibility and receptivity from anyone that you are sharing with. Wait until you feel they are in the most receptive place if you really want to share something with someone. Again, watching if you are holding on to the need to be right, knowing that that is coming from ego and that will keep you out of flow. Instead, if you wish to share something with someone, waiting for the most receptive moment, and then just holding a space where both are curious as to what the other one is understanding or sharing at that time, instead of it being one is right and one is inherently wrong. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, and this is also for the broader community, not just people that are very close to and in front of you, but really this was a suggestion for any manner of relating. Those things that we've mentioned. Thank you. They wanted me to be clear about that. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Okay. There we go. All right, well, thank you for watching. Sending you so much love. And hang in there, you're doing really well. If you have any questions or you want to ask something specific, please feel free to ask. Bear in mind, questions around timelines, etc. You don't necessarily get direct answers around those right now. So yeah, things aren't sort of quite settled. And as I said, there's another big wave coming soon. So be really, really kind to yourselves. I am always in a constant state of learning how to be even nicer to myself. It's a wonderful journey. I love you so much. Talk to you next week.